Maybe. Okay, so today I'm not going to talk about that. I don't think I am anyway. But anyways, what I am going to talk about is the seed corn. Yes, it is becoming a catch-all for sweatshirts because that's a sign that things are warming up outside. Okay, so I have had some people, they called this like a local brand. I don't know, I think FS is pretty much a national company. But I get what they were saying with the local brand of seed corn versus, say, the name brand of DeKalb. You know, name brand of DeKalb. So, what happens with these things, and it's the same thing with FS High Soy and any of these other ones. So, what happens with these companies, and not all companies, so I don't want to misspeak and get somebody's feathers ruffled if you are in a private growing situation or a private seed company just starting out or whatnot. But what happens with these companies is this company right here says, hey, we need a variety of corn that is grown for, say, the Northeast. That's where we're at. I'm in New Jersey. Yes, we do farm in New Jersey, quite a few acres here. We are in a somewhat of a farming community, but we're not just a suburb of New York like most people think. What's that? Oh, no more pizza, but I think there is a slice of pizza in that one because we like pizza around here. So what happens with these things is FS will say, we need a variety that's grown for the Northeast, and we don't actually have seed farms or growers for our seed. So what they do is they contract somebody. Yeah, they actually contract somebody. They're like, okay, so let's say we'll use DeKalb as an example because there's DeKalb seed sitting here. We could use Pioneer. We could use, DeKalb. Dobler's, I don't know if Dobler's is still in business anymore. I know the company was sold and then it went to T.A. Dobler. Taylor Dobler was a guy, he was out here in Pennsylvania, but I don't know if he's still in business or not. But anyways, you get the big seed companies, you know, DuPont is Pioneer or was Pioneer. So FS is like, we need this variety. It needs to be, let's use this one here. It's a 97, I think this one is, a 97-day variety. We need a 97-day variety that's grown for the Northeast. We need to contract, I don't know, 100,000 bags of this particular variety because we know that there's going to be 100,000 bags of seed corn grown between Maine to, say, the eastern shore of Maryland. And they put out their bid for this day corn with the traits that they feel they need specific for the Northeast. So let's just say that DeKalb had an excess of seed for this 97-day, and they say, okay, we accept your bid for this seed. They buy the seed, and then it is purchased, and it is more than likely bagged in that particular facility, or FS actually has its own bagging plant. Now, I'm not sure about that. That is just, you know, it could be bagged anywhere. It could go to a bagging facility, and this was just a contract thing because most companies anymore are pieced apart. So this seed that's in this bag could be a Pioneer of 97-day. It could be a Dobler or DeKalb of 97-day. It could be any one of those companies because FS does not grow their own seed that I know of. Now the same thing with soybean seed. They call this the high soy. This could be their own, I'm not sure, but it's basically the same thing. So if you get like you get a variety of, say, that CPS had sold, Crop Production Services, now Nutrien. Nutrien does the same thing. So this is grown by another company. This particular variety may be a DeKalb or a Pioneer 99-day or a 95-day or a 96-day. They do fudge the relative maturity per day because who's gonna complain or who's gonna notice a day or two either way? Yeah. So that's kind of how this works. It isn't like this is an inferior bag of seed. It's just packaged for this particular company from a much larger seed producing company like that, and that's how you get these different seed varieties from different companies that you wouldn't even think would have a seed program, because they don't have a seed program. They purchase their genome from companies like that, and that is how you get these off-brand things. Now, you have public varieties. Those are grown by, they're contracted, so like Shumways will contract. Shumways is basically a generic mogul company. They just a generic seed, open pollination, public varieties. They do have some hybrids. They are hybrids that are now public variety hybrids that were really good 20 years ago, and now they're still there, and they are a conventional. I don't know if they've got any Roundup Ready varieties or Liberty varieties. I'm sure there are a few of them that are out on the market now that are public varieties. That happens after 17 years unless there is a patent extension. Patent extensions are extraordinarily expensive to continue to to do. So what they'll do, it's cheaper to develop a different gene that is tolerant to the same chemical plus the new chemicals that they bring out. And then like Roundup Ready 2. So after Roundup Ready became a variety that was of public origin that you could just buy, it came out with Roundup Ready 2 or whatever it is, and then they say, oh well, it can take different this, that, and the other thing, and then they can charge you that tech fee and whatever else they do. You're not allowed to save the seed. I wouldn't save seed at this point anymore anyway, because things are advancing so far, so fast, and they're advancing in a direction where it is easier to produce a high-yielding crop with less inputs. Yes, or less expense on the chemical side and less expense on the fertilizer side if you know what you're doing. I don't claim to know what I'm doing. I just claim to know that I think I know what I'm doing. So yeah, this is it, and then that's how that works. Yeah, this might be a garbage variety. This might be a variety that they discontinued through that company, DeKalb, 4 or 5 years ago, and or it wasn't doing as well, or it was replaced by another variety that may very well be in that bag over there. We don't know. And they grew it because it was good enough 2 years ago or 3 years ago, before it was discontinued by a big company, and that's how they got a hold of it, and they sold it to them for a discounted price. And and they can sell it at a discounted price, because what I paid for this and that over there was the same price level. These are really good varieties from what I understand. Everybody that has grown them in the past few years here is quite happy with them. And look who just breezed through my door. Look at that girl. Look at that beautiful woman. What is she carrying? Oh, a lot of moolah. How much did that cost, by the way? $12.96, something. Each or all three? Okay. So what we ended up with is this here.
Hungry? What do you mean you're hungry?
Ag and turf green paint. See, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but guess what? Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back at that damn grain drill. And you get to look at it while I do this. So I did this welding job here. I made that so that it will never break again, unless there's a bigger problem down on the bottom side, which will involve me pulling that pin out of the bottom, dropping that thing away, and replacing that plate there with something a little better. So what I really needed to paint for was to cover that up and protect that. I made these little things here, which I think I showed yesterday, and I want to paint those as well. So I'll pop those off, paint them up, put them on there, just keep them from rusting and turning into crap. Now, yes, I know there's rust all over this drill and everything, and it's okay. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain too much, but yeah, there it is. That pizza's gone. So anyway, I just wanted to do that. There you go. I'm done talking about the grain drill for right now. I could talk about my wife and how pretty she is. Hey!
Hey!
Troublemakers! Those are troublemakers, you see. They go out and they got corn stalks stuck to the front of their truck.
Yeah.
Look at this. Are you four-wheeling or something? You got corn stalks all stuck to the front. This is a hot little truck. It's got a little turbocharger in it. What's that? Okay, so we're recording. Alright, so I'm putting compost on, or spent mushroom soil on for soybeans. This was corn last year, obviously. This is out at the home farm here, as you can see. Putting about 2 tons to the acre. That's all I want to put down for soybeans. It doesn't need a lot here because there's a lot that is breaking down right here, just doing its thing. So that's what it looks like when it's covered. That spreader, that Chandler spreader is a 16-foot spreader. I wish I had the heavier axles under it, because with lime I really overload it, and I shouldn't do that, but I do. But yeah, so I ripped this field with the ripper, and it has moved the wet spot from there down to there, which is good, and that wet spot is gone, which is good, but for how long? So yeah, I think it looks really good. I've been contemplating of actually just taking the disc over this one last time and leveling it out really nice before I plant, and then that'll be the last time I work this ground as long as I live, I'd say. I'm going to do no-till, strictly no-till from this point forward. Yeah, it's a weird decision to make, and I know a lot of people think that I'm effing nuts, but it's just a matter of need to make the soils healthy again. And in order to do that, you kind of got to get back to the way Mother Nature intended dirt to be dirt, soil to be soil. Dirt is what you get on you, soil is what you grow your food in. And there's nowhere in Mother Nature where ground looks like this, unless it's been touched by human hands. Do you break records and yield records with ground that is broken up with a disc and a plow? Yes, of course you do. What are you feeding, though? Are you feeding the soil, or are you feeding the plant? I want to feed the soil so the soil feeds the plant, I want to feed the plant so that the soil can be eroded away with wind and water, and yeah, wind and water. That's how erosion happens. So I know these decisions are hard, and I know people will criticize me for these decisions, but that's okay, because I want everybody to just sit back, relax, and watch. If I fail, my haters will just love it. If I succeed, my haters will hate me even more and come up with some other excuse. And I'm actually going to make a video on Ag Talk in the Raw that discusses what lengths people will go to defend something, even though they know it is very deadly and detrimental to their soil and their life. But anyway, that's that. Oh yeah, FJ Dynamics seems to be working just fine. Works good. I like it. Thank you. Just have to knock the cobwebs off the corn planter. Alright, so it's corn planter time. Oh boy, you know what we have to do? We have to rebuild a few of these wheels. I don't think I have any bearings, do I? So, we're getting close to planting. I am not in the biggest of hurries to get going planting because it's just wet. That's just the long and the short of it. It's just wet. So we do have the parts that we have to repair on this, or replace. What I'm going to do is just simply replace all of these chains on these boxes. They're nothing to change. They're very simple. I'm not even going to be nice about it. I'm just going to cut them off with a pair of bolt cutters and throw the new ones on. That should be just fine. Closing wheels. Those are what the major update is going to be. These are all brand new. All of these are brand new. Well, they got 450 acres on them. Every damn one of them. 450 acres on those. I do have to get myself this stuff. I really like this. Flotegic Seed Nutrition and Flow Agent. I don't know, I left one row out last year and I could see in the emergence that it actually did some good. It's just a slight little nutrient burst as it emerges, you know, as that seed sprouts. So anyway, there's just a couple of things that need to be done with this thing. Obviously, I got to take all of those off, all of those off, all of those off, and no big deal. There's only 12 of them. It's a 12-row planter, and it's no big deal. It's like a 3/4 inch wrench. The crazy thing is that I have to align them, which isn't hard. I mean, it's basically a line of sight thing. You look down through there. This closing wheel is actually oblonged. It isn't in the right spot, but you can adjust it. So when I'm done putting all that on there, I'll have the adjustment for the down pressure for these closing wheels. These are the Seed Cruiser, I believe, right? Yeah, the Furrow Cruiser, I'm sorry, the Furrow Cruiser. And obviously they have a different, Tim, come on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you sorry for? Put it on something a little more stable is all. We got too much shit around here or something. What I'm looking for is in here. So, in this thing here, this has this little hexagon gizmo on it, right? And that's, well, it goes this way. And it's up, yeah, that's the wear point. I actually really like that because on this model, or these older ones, they just sit in this little pressed steel piece, and if they wear, they wear right on it. But you know, I mean, for the amount of acres that I did with this last year and the year before, it really wasn't much. We did 300 acres last year and 140 acres the year before. This year it's going to be running 600 acres. 600 acres of corn with this one. So far 400 acres of soybeans with that one. I'm probably going to bump it up another 300 acres of soybeans just because, well, soybeans are paying pretty good. Did you spray this again?
Yeah, you missed the underside of this.
I didn't need it touched.
Oh.
Yeah, so now I've got this like orange peel effect of shit. I had it actually really nice until you touched it. Tim, can't leave shit alone, can you? Just do the stuff that I tell you to do so you don't, you know, mess with the stuff that I'm doing.
You don't want it to rust like that.
I don't care. Can you see that? Well, I thought, yeah, did you notice that it made it like really shitty?
What do you mean?
You can't tell it. It took the shine right out of it. It orange peels. If you don't, if you spray that and it isn't completely cured or just tacky, it turns it into this dull looking crap. Not that the rest of the machine is a shining gem or anything, but I kind of had it the way I wanted it before you came along. Yeah, well, anyways, whatever. So tomorrow's job, I'm gonna say, is to actually get these wheels changed out. Closing wheels, firming wheels, closing wheels is what they are. These here are the row cleaners. Now these row cleaners, I think they're Martin row cleaners. Yeah, they're Martin row cleaners. I'm actually going to drop those down just a tiny little bit more, like one hole, because I want to do that because I'm hoping I can. Is there room for one more? Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. There's plenty of adjustment there. I just want to drop it down one more because I want it to just touch. I don't want it to plow, but I just want it to sweep the standing hay, because I'm going through standing hay with this thing. I just want it to sweep that hay away from these openers, and yeah, just sweep the hay away from the openers so that it doesn't have to cut through the hay to open. And yeah, so these openers are still perfectly fine. The bevel is perfect. So yeah, I've still got a lot of acreage on that one to go. But that's the plan. Just drop those down so it just touches the grass. You know, just doesn't touch the soil. Just touches that grass, just about a quarter to a half an inch away from the soil, and then just sweeps that hay out of the way so that I have good contact with the disc openers, so I don't have to worry about all that shit getting in there and plugging stuff up, knocking seed out. I do have some other parts that's got to go underneath there, so I got to take one opener off to get to that, or maybe I got to take them both off. I don't know. We'll do that tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going home. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm not grumpy though, am I? Okay, Tim's grumpy though.
No, I'm not grumpy.
Why not?
I'm just tired.
Well, you could be. I could kick you in the balls and make you really grumpy. Yeah. What the heck? You look like Homer Simpson with that yellow shirt on.
What do you mean?
What color shirt does Homer wear? A white one. Yeah.
A white one?
He's yellow. Anyway, have a nice night.